It's a podcast. It's about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we gaze in wonder at the marvels of time. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Gerald Christopher St. Caspar del Buffalo. It was the founder.
Is he from Buffalo, New York?
No, I don't think it's that Buffalo. I don't think it's that Buffalo.
It's
yeah,
mozzarella.
Yeah, but I could see there's a couple Caspers up there.
Yeah.
He was the founder of the Missioners of the Precious Blood, which I think is appropriate for this movie. Yes, the precious blood, of course, being the blood from the Last Supper and the wine and the Holy Grail and the whole thing. So that's why I chose him.
Nicely done.
Porter. Yes, Porter. And today, I'm quite happy to introduce our good friend and guest and resident Trinidadian, Reesa Forrester.
Hello.
Welcome,
Hi,
Reesa.
thank you. That was a very long-winded, introduction. I feel like a celebrity.
We've had worse.
Well, I've heard. But you know what? I like just Reesa. Maybe we could just keep it short, like share. Yeah,
Reesa.
I like
Okay.
just the one name. How about we do that?
All right. Well, Reesa, we are going to be talking about minute 100, and that begins with a lot of binocular action, and it ends with our heroes staring up at the haunted temple of the Holy Grail.
Haunted?
And this, as they ride into the canyon, this is for you, Jer, we get a really beautiful gong sound, and I was wondering what kind of gong this is.
Oh, I have that right here. Yeah, second 11. There's a gong alert.
Yeah.
And if you listen to it, it's actually very, very low pitched, and it's very dark with a slight complexity to it. So, it's a different type of gong than we had in Temple of Doom. But what I did notice is that is a John Williams thing. He does it all the time, and also accompanying the gong is that super low chanting. There's like a kind of blends in. Yeah, as they enter the canyon. But I had a question for you here, Pete. Yeah, at the very beginning of this minute, we get a great look at Donovan's outfit. Now I know we've discussed this a little bit, but can you describe it? Take a look, collect yourself.
Uh-huh.
What does it look like to you?
With the big pockets on the outside of his jacket?
Yeah,
It's
just
like
the
a
whole
pop
little
quiz
thing.
right now.
It's like a what?
A pop quiz.
Yeah, I know.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
There's
I don't know
something
how I would
kind of
describe that.
it's like a motoring outfit.
It is kind of, yeah. Like
Wow.
you
I
can
wanna
put his
say
driving
it's,
gloves in there, or spark plugs, or
Yeah. Or the 6-year-old in me wants to say it's very Steve Austin from the $6 Million Man.
yeah. I was actually
Like
thinking
it's got
that
the
too.
pockets
Yeah.
and it's like a suit almost sort of thing, but it's too rugged and outdoorsy to be a suit.
Is that right
Yeah,
and outdoorsy though? I'm like, how are they so crisp? Everybody's grungy and like the Nazis
Nazis.
have different laundry detergent from everybody else. Notched lapels
Clothes are
and
too
his
scared to
shiny
get wrinkled.
buttons.
Yeah, we're all stuck using Rinso, and they've got some specialty.
Everybody's whites are dinged, and here's Donovan over there, shining bright like a diamond.
Whites are dinged.
It does look almost like a leisure suit, just the jacket
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, matching our girl and
And,
her riding jodhpurs. I'm like, where are y'all
Yeah.
going? Where's the Nazis got a different invite. Everybody else is dressed for the occasion, and they're over here like having a day at the racetrack. I don't get it.
They were big on jodhpurs, though. They would wear those all the time.
All crispy
anywhere.
white with the the waistcoat buttoned up.
Yeah, I think that was a Prussian thing.
A jodhpurs riding crops.
Yeah.
For no
Wait,
reason.
you know what? Speaking of dingy whites, I do have a question. How do you use if you ever
Speaking as a dingy white.
That's there you go. What a segue. Speaking of dingy whites.
Speaking as a dingy white. Why? How do you have that laundry detergent that's good for? It's like color safe, but with bleach. How do they do that?
I've never understood that.
Yeah,
I think the clothes themselves have gotten impervious
That's
to
for
stuff.
lazy people,
Yeah.
And so
you
you
can
can do
use it on
anything to 'em.
everything. I appreciate the sentiment. They make your life easy. You don't have to worry. Just use this one.
Yeah.
But how can you actually have bleach that doesn't bleach or ruin
These are the
colors?
questions that keep us up at night.
Yeah. You're thinking of 70s bleach. This is
Yeah,
2018
Yeah,
bleach.
no, I am. I'm thinking of the type of bleach you use when you're cleaning the frat house bathroom
Yeah.
Need some powerful
drop
stuff
a
for
match.
that.
Sunday morning. Well, I did figure something out here. I figured out why Donovan is a forgettable villain, and it's because his suits always are the exact same color of his ties.
That's true.
He
Yeah.
lacks an accent piece.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
his character.
Goodfellas.
That's a good description because his character
Yeah, it's
kinda
all one
lacks
note.
an accent piece.
Yeah.
Deep.
It's all kind of yeah.
Yeah. How would you, now, Reesa? How would you describe? Now, you originally saw the movie when?
Dude.
When?
As a
As a
kid,
kid?
yes, but can we just say that I was like a solid 3 years old when this movie came out, so I think it might have been out for a while by the time I saw it. So I can remember anything.
Yeah.
But
I
you
watched it before I came to this
You
podcast.
watched it
yeah.
recently, and
You know, you got to cram before you
good. That's
enter
better
the,
than most.
the exam. So I did some cramming.
Yeah. Better than
So
some of the
I
hosts.
should at least watch the
perhaps.
movie then.
Yeah. Why is everyone looking at me?
well, what do you think of Donovan as a villain? Is he a little forgettable, or compared to some of the other villains we've had in like Raiders or whatever else? Do
He
you think
doesn't,
he sticks
though.
out?
He doesn't,
or,
though.
memorable,
But I
or
don't
not
think it's
really?
his fault because, I mean, they put Hitler in this movie. Like, what's Donovan going to do? You know what I mean? It's really not Donovan's fault.
good point,
you know?
actually.
Everybody kind of steamrolls
Yeah.
over him. Even with the binocular action, he's like,
that's a
making
good
his
point.
grand announcement, the canyon of the Crescent Moon. Everybody else is facing the other way. I'm like, guys, Donovan is showing you something. Nobody else is looking.
Pay attention
I'm
to
the
the
bad
bad
guy
guy.
here. Pay attention to me. It's not his fault. I feel for Donovan.
Well, then we cut to the gong and Henry, Sala, Indy, and Marcus are riding into the canyon. And the script is interesting because the script says they hear a wailing wind, they feel the biting cold, and sense the danger. And it doesn't come across that way to me at all.
You didn't think
No.
so? I
It does.
thought they really
it does once they
drilled
get-
it into our head with the danger, with all that ominous foreboding. If you think, we're not supposed to know, we should be worried and afraid for their lives. They got the music, they got the dark and the shadow and you didn't think?
I think
I'm
we
getting
get
all that
that at
effect
the end
in
of the
cold,
minute.
though.
I think we get that when we see the temple, but when they're riding through the canyon,
Really?
I feel more like it's just a kind of majestic.
I felt the kind
Majestic
of
and with a gong.
Yeah,
majestic, the slice of claustrophobia and a gong.
yeah, the claustrophobia is good. Is Henry dressed like Han Solo?
Oh, wow. It's awesome.
Oh,
Yes, he is.
yeah, with the shirt, the white shirt, and then the
Yeah, I wonder if Han Solo has finally made peace with his father in the dream, and that's why
Oh, maybe.
they just had their reconciliation, and now he dresses like Han.
maybe he's
that's
got
good.
some daddy issues there.
Marcus is horse sick, isn't he?
Oh, God, he probably is. I mean, what else is he going to do?
Yeah,
Poor
yeah,
Marcus
yeah.
Brody.
Yeah,
He's
he
had
went
a tough time all movie long. He doesn't
Yes.
catch a break.
We've had a tough time.
At least he didn't
Yeah,
fall off
yeah.
and squirm on his back, like his legs and arms flailing in the air.
Yeah.
The whole
He
thing.
doesn't have a
He-
bugle.
That's why they should have gotten the camels.
I was just gonna say, like, seeing these 4 guys on the horses made me just remember, like, God, he really didn't get those camels
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
He
did he?
didn't
Yeah.
get the camels, man.
That's sad.
And
Yeah.
he really needed those camels.
Like, he's got to make a whole other trip now to get a bunch of camels to,
to get
compensate
4
for the car.
camels to replace
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This movie's sad.
And in the script, they actually call out that they ride past the vehicles, camels, and horses belonging to Donovan's party that have been left by the entrance.
Oh, you're kidding.
See?
They like double down on the
Really?
fact that Solid.
I
didn't
was
get the
wondering, I
camels.
was like, how? Yeah. You see, that's the thing, though. You need to come prepared. You come with the camels, you come with the horse. You have
Yeah.
options. Maybe, bring along a sturdy fridge for backup. You never know what you're going to.
Yeah, did Donovan just park around back or something? Like, how come there's
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
so
I-
confused by that.
Yeah.
Where'd he come? I don't know.
I have
Or couldn't you
timing
even
in
drive
the
through this canyon?
What's
I
that?
guess you could. I'm wondering if you could actually physically drive through the canyon. If you could fit a car through there.
Oh,
Well,
that's a
it
good
looks like they
question.
couldn't. Like when they come around that gong corner, it looks like it would be hard to fit a car through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the actual
great
canyon in some places in the canyon I saw it's like arm's width. So I think you might be able to enter with your car, but you'd probably get into some problems along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Unless they do that
yeah.
Han Solo move and kind of tilt it.
gotta get those drivers out
Right.
and start walking.
Hey, what's going on with the reflection in Henry's glasses?
Those
Second
reflective
33 to
glasses,
35.
man.
It's interesting because we also get it's a kind of a Temple of Doom bridge moment where the grain of the film seems like it changes drastically.
Yes.
Like it's
Oh, yeah.
definitely a big change. And that glasses shot's really interesting.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's highly,
That's,
highly
They
uh,
kept
reflective.
it, yeah.
That shows like fake glasses, doesn't it?
Oh,
Isn't it
does
like a
it?
sure sign of just fake flat glasses?
I think that was just before they had those anti-reflective coatings. As a glasses wearer of many years, I have some pictures that look pretty much like that. What are you gonna do?
If Indy were alive today, or if Henry were alive today, would he have those glasses that turn into sunglasses when you go outside and they turn into regular glasses inside?
Oh, transition
Yeah.
lenses. Those are the ones.
Nothing's cooler. My wife wears them. God bless her
Oh,
heart.
does she?
Hi, honey.
Hey, wait. Okay, let's take a little
Listen.
a round of a little question section here because I'm gonna have to get glasses. I have to.
Oh, my
yeah,
gosh.
You've been saying this for 5 years. Hurry up and get the glasses
Yeah.
already.
It's true. When I drive, it looks like a Monet's painting. So no, but now Tommy, you were a non-glasses guy, and then you had glasses. Now you have glasses. Do you think you look better in glasses, or would you ever just opt for the LASIK eye surgery thing?
I think it's what sucks is I think now I look weird without glasses. Like I wasn't a glasses guy for the
That's
vast
true,
majority
though.
of my life, but now I think I look more normal with them.
Really?
But I
Out of your
think, but
face.
they're a drag enough to wear that I would definitely get like any kind of surgery that would make it unnecessary.
You would?
That'd be cool.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And now
I was hot before Jerry. I'm just a little weirder hotter now with the glasses.
Reesa, you're a glasses wearer from
Oh,
an
God.
earlier
Because I didn't-
days.
Yeah. Since I was like maybe 12 or so. I guess,
And so,
yeah.
but you have contacts as well. Is there a reason?
I have contacts, but they're a pain in the. There are. You
Well,
guys
no.
have to insert a sound there, don't you? Contacts are a pain.
Yeah.
You can't do. People think you pop them in and you live your life, but nah. Can't go to the beach. You can't get. Dust gets in your eye. You gotta wash your hands.
Oh,
you gotta
wow.
take your lenses out.
Pete, have you ever had to wear glasses or?
When I was 15, I went to the optometrist and he prescribed me glasses because I had a very slightly needed glasses, and I wore them once to school, and some kid made fun of me,
You rebel, you.
and I never put them back on, and I've never worn glasses since that day.
Peer pressure.
no.
Really?
Going bad. Look at that.
Yeah, I just walk around with a squint now.
That stayed with
I
you.
was gonna say you actually you're just hate sighted.
Yeah, I'm hate sighted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're spite sighted.
Yeah.
Shame sided. Oh God.
Shame
All
sighted.
these years.
Well, all right. So we don't have a lot of dialogue in this minute, but we do have the big reveal, right? We have the big reveal here. So what do you guys think about having the Grail Temple be an instantly recognizable historical place?
But see, I don't think it was instantly recognizable in 1989. I think it's instantly recognizable because of this movie.
Wait a minute. Tommy, I just want to be clear. Do you hear what Pete's saying?
Yes. I am, and he could be right. I don't know enough about it to know that he's wrong.
But what I'm saying is,
I don't think it's from this movie only.
Well, no, but I think a lot of people know it because of this movie.
That's probably true. That's
and
probably
in the 1970s,
accurate,
the 80s, there wasn't the internet. There wasn't, like, people didn't see all this stuff like we know about today.
I was just kidding around because I'm surprised Pete didn't say. Pete, I've been to Petra. Of course I knew about it in 1989.
No, I haven't actually. No.
No, I think you're right, Pete. I don't think it was instantly recognizable back in 1989. And did we had a guest who said, I think that since this movie has come out, there's been a lot more excavation and archaeological work that's gone on because it's become a bit of a tourist attraction in Jordan.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Well,
Those Indiana Jones Crusaders are fanatics. Everybody's buying tickets to Jordan now.
And there was a great Nova episode a couple years ago where they found ancient gold mines and metalworking like facilities in right nearby, because this used to be a pretty big city.
Yeah.
So it's
they've been hunting for treasure there forever, and actually in the treasury they haven't found anything. So it's good that they found some treasure there
in Jordan.
Yeah, in the Sikh itself, in the building, the treasury.
Really?
Itself.
Oh wow! I just think it's interesting having a place that's so recognizable. Like if you had a movie and they had Machu Picchu as this undiscovered site. Yeah, it's not I think as a set it's fantastic and amazing.
Yeah. It's a really
I think it is. I think today it is instantly recognizable, but I still hold it in 1989. I don't think it would have been for a lot of people.
No, I agree with you. I had no clue what it was.
I didn't either.
I was just gonna say, instantly recognizable, not so much. I had to look it up. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Thank God for UNESCO and their World Heritage sites. So now I'm like, that's one of them.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was either.
And for people wondering and who are not looking it up themselves, this is of course Petra in Jordan.
Yeah.
The building we're looking at is the mausoleum of a Nabatean king.
Wow.
And human civilization dates around here to as early as 9000 BCE. But the city, I think, was in its prime, like maybe 3rd, 2nd century before the Common Era, and then the Romans annexed it in the 2nd century of our current era, and it kind of began a long, slow decline until it was basically forgotten, except for the few nomads who lived there.
Right, and do you know the name? Name the nomads, Pete. Name the nomads. What was their name?
The Nabateans, right?
Yeah, I was kidding. Yeah. I was just beating up Pete for a minute.
Oh, I thought I was wrong.
No, is it pronounced Nabateans?
I thought it was Nabatean, but it may be Nabatean.
Oh, maybe it is Nabatean.
It may be one of those AEs, whatever you call that.
Yeah, it's an AEA.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with those.
But what do you guys make of the fact that the introduction of the temple, I think, is fascinating because the way it's shot from this super low angle and the sinister bird sounds, to me, it's exactly like they're approaching a haunted house and all they have to do is spend one night and they get a fortune. And the music is almost exactly like something you'd hear in like a 60s or 70s British horror film. Like it doesn't sound like anything else in these movies. And it's also a lot like the shot in Temple of Doom when you see that low angle shot of Hancock Palace from the outside. You get like that sharp angle view. And that same time you get kind of that spooky feeling. And it's interesting because
it is.
Like the image, like you don't get this, it's not a sense of like majesty or a sense of wonder. It's a kind of a scary foreboding.
But yeah, you don't know what's waiting for them. And the proportion does give you that looming, the buildings there overhead. But I kind of liked it though. I didn't think it was really that much foreboding when they actually got to the building. Because that's the first, like, glimpse of the sky you got since they entered the canyon.
That's true.
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
there's blue
that's
sky,
true.
there's sunlight.
Yeah.
It's not so bad, maybe. Then you hear the birds, okay, no, everybody's gonna die. They're all gonna die.
So let's let's talk about the bird caw. What's going on? Gratuitous bird caw?
You think the shaman's sitting up on top?
I had the same note. I love you, Pete. I love you.
Of course
With
you
his
did.
beautiful eyes.
Yeah, with his beautiful eyes.
With his beautiful eyes. Oh yeah.
He
Wow.
told me he loved Chiva now.
Right.
I wanted, yeah. Well, did you? So now, Reesa, did you? Have you seen all the Indiana Jones movies?
Oh, hell no. I don't watch that. I only watch this one for you.
He saw this one, and that was good enough.
No. I'm over it. No, I don't want to say I've seen them all, but I've seen. Well, maybe I've seen them all because I saw the Crystal Skull, and I guess where are you gonna go from that?
Yeah.
I've seen the last three, and I've seen Crystal Skull.
Did you? I mean,
Why do you ask?
I just wanted to see what was your take or
How
what
does
was
this
your
act-
favorite? Yeah.
My favorite.
Do you think Harrison Ford is as hot as we all think Harrison Ford is?
Oh my God. I think you think Harrison Ford is way hotter than I do. Let's just say that. But
Wow.
can I
Oh,
say
interesting.
though, I've always liked him. But
Yeah.
I thought Sean Connery was hotter than Harrison Ford.
Wait, old Sean Connery or young Sean Connery? Like Sean Connery in this
In
movie is
general.
hotter than Harrison Ford?
In this movie, they made him so
Yeah.
dopey and
just-
ditzy and dumb and like silly that, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he needed Harrison Ford to save his life. Like, oh, Junior this, Junior that. But in general, yes. In this movie, in all the Indiana Jones movies, I couldn't really like Harrison Ford because of the misogyny of it all. You know what I mean? That white savior complex. I was like, oh, give me a break. So that kind of killed it for me.
Yeah.
You know?
There feels like there's a lot of that in these movies.
Yeah, it's like, man. But I'm not taking anything away from him. He's a pretty good looking guy. But I think y'all like him a lot more than I do, maybe.
Well, there's no wrong answer. I mean, Harrison Ford, Sean Connery. It's
But Jay wants to say I'm right though.
Yeah.
One of those guys is Han Solo too. You just got to factor that
But I mean,
in.
it's Harrison
you know.
Ford. I mean,
just
what are you
saying.
gonna do? He stands alone. It goes without saying. But I've always been particular to Sean Connery. So I like the idea of both of them in this movie. But the dynamic with the father-son thing kind of felt forced.
Oh, it did.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But,
You're glad that he never said "I love you."
Well, he
his
was an
son.
absent father. So there's that.
Right.
You're glad that
Yeah.
Triggering everybody's daddy issues everywhere. Oh my God, my father never paid attention to me.
everybody runs out after the
I'm
movie.
just like Indiana Jones.
Well, hey, speaking of just like Indiana Jones,
Hey.
yeah, something
Oh.
something coming in over the wires.
I'm glad that didn't start. Speaking of daddy issues.
Speaking of that,
How does that make you feel?
yeah, exactly. This just in from Professor Christy Porter. Where did Henry learn to ride a horse?
I was thinking that, Christy.
Oh.
Christy. He's dumpy throughout the
Yeah.
whole thing. He's this
That's a
big
good
old
question.
dope using umbrellas. He's got to take his umbrella along. And all of a sudden, our guy's just riding a horse like, he was born on one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it that hard to learn how to ride? I barely do,
Been
but
in
I
all
mean,
these
it's-
libraries, and maybe one of those books was a how to ride a horse. You need to go to the temple of the
equestrianism for
Crescent
dummies.
Moon.
I figured it was probably like a magical fest. One of those medieval.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ren Fair.
Yeah. Renfest.
Jousting.
Yeah.
there
probably where
was
you
all
learned
in
it.
that same book.
Well, nice. Thank you, Christy Porter. And thank you, Reesa. This has been a lot of fun.
Oh, that's it? We're done?
Unless you have any
You guys
last
should have
thoughts.
invited me more. If I knew it would be this painless, I'd be...
No, of course. Parting
See?
thoughts.
Yeah, I came in...
It's an
Let's
easy,
hear them.
fun thing.
Parting thoughts.
I think that's most of our listeners' parting thoughts after they hear the episode. That's it.
That's it. It's done.
That's the show.
All that ominous anticipation and crows, and that's it. We're done.
Yeah. Any farewell thoughts, Reesa?
I feel like it's an Indiana Jones movie, so you're one, if they want you to think you should be scared for any of these people, you're not scared for anybody. I'm like, everybody's gonna live. It's Indiana Jones, He leaps and the net appears, or, he burns the ship down and the flotation device will appear. He crashes the plane, the lifeboat appears. So,
Yeah.
I'm not too scared. So the minute's nice. It's visually stunning, but it doesn't give me the fear.
Do you get the impression that he is religious at all?
Well, Junior's not religious at all because I think his father really sent him in the other direction,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah.
oh, well, religion stole my dad from me, so I'm going to just go the other way. Maybe that's why he desecrates all these artifacts and destroys everything.
I like it.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah. And speaking of not being afraid he's
Nice.
going to die, I'm so curious about Indy 5.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be Indy's demise at some point.
No, that's a good point.
If it's all just a fever dream,
No matter what happens, he wakes up in space.
if you die in a dream, what happens? Yeah.
Reesa just took down our entire show.
Yeah.
I love it. It's not just a fever dream. Who cares?
Well, on the plus side is we're all going to wake up kissing Princess Leia. So
Oh, that's a
Well,
good point.
see, happy endings all around.
yeah. And on that note, we had a very happy time with you, Reesa. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And the British in me says, thank you for having me. Is that how it goes?
And thank you, everybody, for listening. And you can listen to more of us if you want to join our Patreon. You can hear us on the weekends. You can go to indianajonesminute.com/Patreon or just go to our website and click on the Patreon tab. And you can find us talking about lots of other fun movies like E.T. and 1941 and Close Encounters and Jaws. So come join us. It's a lot of fun. And otherwise, join us back here Monday for minute 101 of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Oh, I got the good minute, 100. Nice and even.